In this video, I'm going to share with you my first comic book haul for 2021 and talk about how to make the hobby pay for itself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggelhaus. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know that I did because I got to go to one of my favorite LCSs and pick up a bunch of comic books that I'm super excited to share with you guys. And then in the end of the video, I want to talk a little bit about this idea of how to make the hobby pay for itself, because I got some, pretty cool keys here, and I want to share some with you guys some ideas of, how to mitigate some of those costs. But before I can get into that, if you guys could drop me a like or comment or subscribe if you're enjoying my content, help support the channel. Love interacting with you guys. Over the weekend, we hit 700 subscribers, so that was really awesome. A super cool milestone for me to get to, and I'm really excited about that. So let's keep it going. Let's keep growing, and let's keep having this conversation. Anyways, with that being said, let me talk about some of the stuff that I picked up in my comic book haul, and I want to start off with two of my favorite books that I got here. Two of the big ones, and that's going to be this one here, which is going to be Tales to Astonish number 63. Now, if you happen to see my XMAS Wishlist video that I put out on Christmas Eve, this was actually one of the books that I said that I was going to be targeting in 2021. And hey, we're off to a really good start. Here we are, early in the first week in 2021, and I already picked up one of my books that I'm after. And for those who don't know, this is the first full appearance of the character, the leader. Now, I wanted to get this book on SPEC, right? Because, well, not necessarily on SPEC. Actually, I do love this cover. You're going to see it on the wall behind me. And I do think that this is a really, really cool book. And I love, B-tier villains and everything. But I do also think that there is a possibility that we might see Tim Blake Nelson return to his role of the leader. They set that up in the first Incredible Hulk movie. And with everything going on with bringing back Abomination, Tim Roth, and the news that he's going to be coming back, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, it's certainly possible that they're going to bring the leader back. And I wanted to pick up this book. And I found it at the LCS. It was being sold at a good deal. I can share with you guys the numbers. It was being sold for $70. So, I thought that was a pretty good deal considering the condition of this book, which, it looks to be about a 7, or they claimed that it was a 7. So I thought this was a really good pickup. And, and I'm going to share with you guys, other things that I picked up later and talk about, how am I going to mitigate this $70? Because certainly I could pay for it. I mean, that's it. I'm fortunate where that's okay within my budget. I can spend that if I want to. But I want to be smart about it. And I want to say, is there ways for me to mitigate the cost of this book? And especially considering the next book that I picked up, which is also another cool key book. And that is going to be Tales of Suspense number 50, first appearance of the Mandarin. And this is something that I actually forgot to talk about in my what books to buy for 2021 video before it's too late. I should have brought this up, but luckily, if you guys are watching this video, I can talk about it now. And that's this is the first appearance of the character of the Mandarin. And for those who don't know, the Mandarin is out there that the Mandarin is going to be played by Tony Leung, and he's going to be in the Shang-Chi movie, and we're going to see the 10 rings in it. So that's super cool. And this is his first appearance, Tales of Suspense 50. Now, this is about a 3. It was listed, and this book was very, very reasonably priced, actually under FMV. I checked the eBay prices of what around a grade was going for this, and this was definitely what I felt was a good deal. So I really wanted to pick up this book, and I really wanted to pick up this book. And these were the two books that I was most excited to grab. And, I'm definitely going to be putting them on my wall. And, with the Tales of Suspense book, the first Mandarin, I like the Mandarin. I definitely wanted to own his book. It was something, it wasn't in my top 10 necessarily, but I would have put it in my top 20 for sure. And I am getting it a little bit on spec, but I also, but the best kind of spec books are the ones that you also would be happy to own regardless. And this one is interesting because we know that the Mandarin is coming. So I'm excited. I'm curious to see, once we get the trailers, how much of is this book going to tick up, or how much of a role is the Mandarin going to play in the MCU moving forward? Regardless, I love me some Silver Age 12 cents. I think it's really cool. I have the Mandarin, and it's going to definitely go on my head, go on the wall behind my head. All right. So with that said, those are the two books I wanted to get. Now, as I picked them up, very early on, I went to the comic book store, I picked up those two, and I figured, okay, well, how can I make these books pay for themselves? Maybe what other stuff can I do to sort of offset or mitigate the costs that, these two books set me back? And so I decided that, maybe it would be best if I dig around through the comic book store and see, what books are undervalued, or what books are being sold for less than FMV that I can maybe trade online and be able to sort of like mitigate the costs that these two set me back for. So these are all books that I identified as stuff that I felt was being I was getting really, really great deals on, and things that I could, maybe move online and help offset those costs. And I think that I can definitely do that as I kind of dug into the numbers. But let me share with you the stuff I got. The first one here is going to be Avengers number 23. This is a Kang appearance, an early Avengers. But what is special about this is actually the first appearance of a character known as Ravonna. Now, Ravonna is Kang's love interest. And for those who don't know the story, Kang, he's traveling through time, but one of his major motivations is that he's trying to get to a timeline where his love interest, Ravonna, is alive. It's kind of like Mr. Freeze and his love interest, if you guys remember the Batman animated series. But this is the first appearance of her character. And I have to think that if we're going to get a Kang, epic storyline in the MCU, Ravonna is going to play a role in that. So this is something that I want to pick up, and it was a good deal. And I think I want to hold on to it for a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of equity I have within it, and if I can trade it for a good deal, for a good price that helps offset the Tales of Suspense, I'm definitely going to do that. All right, the next book I got here is Avengers number 80, and this is the first appearance of a character known as the Red Wolf. Now, I don't know too much about the Red Wolf, but from what I can gather, there has been a lot of speculation that he could be appearing in the Werewolf by Night new comic book run, that he's a character that could fit within context to, the Midnight Suns type of characters, or like the Blades and the Morbiuses and the Ghost Riders and that sort of thing. And he's a Native American character, and that excites me too, because, anytime Marvel can incorporate characters of diverse backgrounds, I think that they're going to want to try to do that. And this was his first appearance. Thought it was a good deal, half price, so I figured I'd pick it up, and we'll see what I do with it if I decide to trade it. All right, next book I found here for a whopping $4 was this one here, which is Avengers 181. And for those who don't know, this is the first appearance of Scott Lang. Definitely people out there who love Ant-Man, who love the Paul Rudd version of the character, Scott Lang, and this is his first appearance. So I figured this is a good deal. It's not something that I necessarily want to hold on to, but definitely something I'm going to use to sort of offset some of the costs of the books that I did want. All right, next up here we have Captain Marvel number 25, and this is the second appearance of Thanos, second cameo appearance of Thanos. I don't even know, but Thanos is in here, and this is a second Thanos thing in some capacity. Who really knows what we're calling it, though? But this was a really good deal. I thought that this is something that I can definitely find value for if I decided to trade it. And if you guys haven't seen my Cameo versus first appearance video, I referenced this, and I had to flip through and see what was going on, because Thanos does show up in 3 panels, but it's not at the end of the book. It's actually in the beginning of the book. So who knows what it is? Is it a cameo? Is it a second appearance? Honestly, who really knows? All right, the next one here, which is really cool, is I got Captain America 354, first appearance of the U.S. agent. And if you guys saw my video about what books to spec on for the MCU for 2021, this is one that I specifically mentioned out, because we are going to have John Wyatt, I believe is the actor's name, who is going to play the role of John Walker and do the U.S. agent maybe storyline. And this is being sold for $3. So I know for a fact that I could move this book. It's in pretty nice condition. I can move this book for $20, $25 easily. And there you go. If I spent $70 on the Tales to Astonish book, all of a sudden make $20 back, and now it's $50. And that's a great way for me to sort of offset the cost of the books that I want. Next up here, I have a book, The New Defenders 143. Now, if you guys saw one of my older videos that talked about spec books that are under $5, this was one that I singled out, because this is one called with the first this is the first appearance of a character known as the Runner. And I have a suspicion that we might see all these cosmic elders in the MCU eventually. The Runner is a character that we could totally see in a James Gunn film, and I already had a copy, but this was a newsstand copy, so I figured I had to get it. And like my video, this was $2, so I figured, hey, Why not? Why not have two? Why not have two? All right, next up here, I got Strange Tales number 123, and you know I've already talked about the Beetle on this channel, and I love B tier villains. I think these guys are so awesome, and the reason I picked up this one, you know, I actually have one right behind me right there. This was actually a higher grade, and for equally a very good deal. So this is one that I'm definitely going to hold on to this one, and I'm going to move on with my old one and trade up, you know, I'm happy to go from that 3 to the 3.5, you know, and just keep upgrading my books because I have the equity, because I found the book for such a great deal. All right, next up here we have Strange Tales 157, and this is the first appearance of the Living Tribunal in Cameo. So the Living Tribunal shows up on the last page of this book. Still very cool. Technically, definitely his first appearance, but compared to this book right here where he's on the cover, this is his first appearance in Cameo. Great deal. A lot of people specking on the Living Tribunal. I've noticed his books on eBay being sold at pretty high prices. And so, you know, who knows? You know, maybe he'll show up in the MCU. He was named in the MCU in the Doctor Strange movie. So, but you know, technically speaking, he does exist in the MCU. And this is a cool book. I'm sure a lot of people would like to get it. All right, next up here we have Strange Tales 170. This is the second appearance of a character known as Brother Voodoo. Now, I don't know anything about Brother Voodoo other than the fact that you know, a lot of people are speculating on him to, you know, come into the MCU in some kind of way, maybe through the Blade show, maybe through, you know, a Ghost Rider tie-in or something like that. So I wanted to get ahead of the curve with this one, and this is his second appearance, and it's a really great cover. So I figured I'd pick it up. It was super cheap, $4. I mean, why not, you know? And I think this is another one that if I decide to trade, I could easily make it, you know, $20 on that book. All right, two more here. And this one is going to be Strange Tales number 178. And this is the Warlock, sort of like the start to his sort of ongoing series. Additionally, it is the first appearance of Magus, which is his evil counterpart. And it's also the first appearance of the Universal Church of Truth, which is like an organization. And you know, here's the thing. Anytime there's first appearances of random things, you know, they're all random things until they're not. Like Time Variance Authority. And I could see the Church of Truth popping up in a James Gunn movie or something like that. But anyways, this is a cool book. Great deal. Great cover, by the way. And Warlock, you know, we know that he exists within the MCU. He could be coming. And this is another one that I feel like I'm going to move on with to offset some of my costs. All right, and then the last book here I have, which was really cool. This is Thor 148, the first appearance of a character known as the Wrecker. And this one I got at a great deal. Half price of what I've ever seen on eBay, and this is pretty awesome because I love the Wrecker. I mean, he's just like the stupidest B tier villain there is, and you know, this is a great introduction of him. Great cover, you know, right there, front and center. So this is a really cool book. I'm glad I picked it up. This is one that I know that I could make, you know, some value on it if I sold it online and offset some of the costs. But I also want to hold on to this one because I just like it. I don't know if it's going to go on the wall, but I do want to hold on to this for the time being. And yeah, you know, it's a very cool book. I'm super happy I found it. Anyways, that is my comic book haul, first comic book haul for 2021. And again, I'm most excited to share with you guys that I picked up this Tales to Astonish and this Tales of Suspense number 50, first appearance of Mandarin, definitely going on the wall. So anyways, that is my comic book haul. Let me know what you guys think, how you think I did. You know, I'm going to be probably shuffling and looking at what equity I have within these books and try to move some of them. And I'll report back to you guys later on to see if I actually am able to make a profit to the point where not only does it pay for the books that I bought, but it also pays for the books that I want to keep. And I've had success in the past where I've done that, where I've been able to buy, you know, a thing like, you know, a Journey into Mystery, and getting other comic books in my haul and moving them, I was able to sort of pay for the whole lot. So, you know, that's something that I recommend to you guys. You know, if you guys want to, you know, work within a budget and work within your means and try to make the hobby pay for itself, you know, you want to look for those opportunities of books that are, you know, undervalued, or books that are being sold where you could turn them around and make a profit on them, and just you know, in that way, it's a great way for you to be able to keep the books that you really want. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. Let me know how you think I did, what books you like. Did you guys pick up any books over the weekend? Drop me a like or a subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I will see you in the next video.